think if Edward Easterling was here, our CFO, and attend the funeral service tonight, he would say that our currently high users are subsidizing the fixed cost piece for the rest of the customers. Now, that's not a popular thing to say, but actually that's true. So we have low income across all of those average users. And so some will see some benefits, some won't see some benefits. That's why the board essentially directed us to look at solutions and how we look at that transition. And so we're committed to do that. So.
Thank you. One more question, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. And this one, I guess, is one about if the customers overall in the OPPD prefer a reasonable overall rate increases to a large increase in the fixed charge, how will the OPPD board respond to that? And is that what has been ongoing here since the last meeting?
Well, I will just share this. I don't know if we've had the conversation in lieu of, I know that was raised at our last board meeting, but I can tell you the pressure I get from board members is not to have any rate increases at all, right? So that's been currently my piece. I know we're in one right now in this kind of transition, but I'll share with you our operating costs are the same in plant for 16 as they were in 14. So we have taken cost out of the business, and we're going to continually do that. So I don't know, we'll see how that discussion goes over the next week here. Also, I know we got to be out of this room at 8:30, but I'm kind of a parking lot guy. So I'll be out in the parking lot, and if you want to have a conversation, I'm open to it. So until my stomach starts to grumble because I haven't had dinner yet. So, but I'll be available if you need me.
I have one more quick question. Can you just let the audience know the urgency behind this and why now as in next week?
Well, sure. And again, our board received a presentation about a year ago on this topic, and we've had conversations about this as we've gone through our strategic directive, board linkages, and our board governance conversation around that. And so we have had that conversation going on. And as we begin to put together the research in the open houses, we feel we have reasonable feedback. What I think was really important is that none of the issues that are showing up in either the open houses or the market research or the conversations we're having tonight are no different than our team kind of raised as here are some concerns we need to be prepared for, and how are we going to address some of those. And the one that has resonated strongly was the one I talked about earlier, is on the low use, low income. And that's why the board directed us to really begin to think about that differently and how we do that. Long term, what we want to be able to do is to get on the front end of these issues, not on the back end. So how can we provide additional energy conservation services for those folks to lessen that impact? And it may not just be on electric. It could be on gas. It could be on water. It could be on any of the services that they have. How do we provide that kind of full service to that group of folks that, as we've heard today, can be overlooked in so many different ways. And so our team was kind of put together what I think is a great approach to that. And the board will have the opportunity to hear that in full detail on Tuesday.
Thank you. We're going to do the closing business. I really want to thank the panel members and President Burke, Vice President Lisa Olson for coming out. Raise your hand if you guys have learned something tonight. Yay! How many of you think that this is a complex issue? Raise your hand. How many of you think that OPPD should delay their decision for at least 3 months? Vice President Lisa Olson. You've just seen a response from the audience. Would you commit to inform the board members at your Tuesday committee meeting that OTOC and the attendees here tonight would like at least a 3-month delay so that we can continue a dialogue on alternatives?
I think we have board members here that have heard it pretty clearly.
Okay, thank you. I want to challenge audience members for your commitment to tell others in your network about the rate.
I'm sorry.
Oh, they're asking for an answer.
Well, yes, that was, yes, absolutely, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes, that would tell, but we also have 3 board members. I know, but it's 2 seconds and I'm done. So we also have 3 board members here that I think heard loud and clearly at least the conversation here tonight. So.
Thank you. I want to challenge you guys. I want to challenge you guys to tell others in your network about the rate restructuring proposal. Who here would be willing to spread the word to others that you know? Raise your hand. Thank you. On the back of the agenda, there is a list of ways that each of you can give your input to the OPPD board over the next week. Remember, the board will soon be making a decision that will fundamentally restructure how we pay for energy over many years. Take 10 minutes out of your day to tell the board your thoughts about what you heard tonight. Please make sure to hand in your comment cards. We will copy all of them. We will be sure to get them to the board by Monday. You can either hand them into volunteers or leave them on the table as you exit. We would like to invite OPPD President Burke and Vice President and the board members here tonight to remain to answer any questions that you have. Thanks again for coming. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Father Dennis Ham is going to offer a closing prayer.
And of course, the Catholic boy thought this was going to be a public confession. So, the closing prayer.
Lord, typically stay here. We have to be out of my mom, so we can still have it. Let's take a moment. Is it on?
Let's take a moment to be grateful for what we have heard and done this evening. Thank you, gracious God, first of all, for being our creator and sustainer, for the gifts of the earth, for the growing alertness of the whole human family to our unity as a family, that as we experience divisions that even express itself violently, even in our neighborhoods this weekend. Thank you for enabling us to speak about delicate things with civil discourse that transcended partisan politics. And in the weeks and months ahead, help us to continue learning. Help us to be industrious in our own research as citizens. Help us to carry out our conversations on these matters in a genuine spirit of dialogue and not powerful aids. Since we are an ecumenical group, let's pray a prayer that is not only Christian across borders, but even very Jewish. The Lord's Prayer.
Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation,
Thank you for coming out. And then they are saying